an individual named Gilbert Garcia, was riding by on a bicycle, stopped, and for no provoked reason, for absolutely no logical reason, got off of his bicycle and was holding some type of a metal object in his hand and began to strike Mr. Singh repeatedly, knocking him to the ground, and continued to strike him. Again, this was unprovoked. And the only thing we can derive from this is that it was a result of who he was and what he was wearing, his religion, his ethnicity. Fortunately, as I said earlier, his son happened by and the attack stopped. The suspect got on his bike and rode away as Mr. Singh's son tended to him, placed him in his car, and began to drive a short distance and then stopped. The Fresno Police Department was called. Our officers responded immediately, and fortunately, we were able to locate the suspect about a half mile away, hiding in an orchard. We arrested him, and we have since booked him into Fresno County Jail. We have formally requested charges today to be filed of attempted murder, elder abuse, and a hate crime. And that hate crime is very significant should we pursue state prosecution, because I believe it's about an extra 6 to 10 years in prison. But what I do want to stand here and tell you today that we are working with the U.S. Attorney's Office, Mark Fuller, who will come up and speak shortly, and Lana Landau is here with us as well, who is an attorney. And we are going to use whatever venue, whether that is the state courts or the federal system, to maximize the amount of time that this individual spends in prison, because he does not deserve to be out in our society. I also want you to know that this is an isolated incident. There does not appear to be that he was acting in concert with anyone. He has no past hate crimes that we are aware of, and it is not related to any of the other prior attacks that we have had on members of the Sikh community, and we have had those. And again, we are working with the U.S. attorneys on this case. This really tells us as a community that we all must be more vigilant. Very vigilant in terms of suspicious circumstances. You heard what was talked about in Wisconsin. It is so important, especially today, whether it is at a temple or at a mosque, is that we are very vigilant in terms of keeping our eye on one another. And what we don't want to do is for people to become fearful or paranoid, because if we do, they win. But we do want people to be aware of the individuals out here that may be trying to harm you folks. These are people that are ignorant. These are people that are filled with hate. And these are people that need to be arrested and put in prison. And my main purpose in being here today is to tell you that we stand shoulder to shoulder with members of the Sikh community. And we stand shoulder to shoulder with members of the Muslim community. And we will continue to stand shoulder to shoulder with you, because we know that all of you folks are hardworking, you are peace-loving people, and you are people that contribute to the well-being of our communities. And we love you folks, and we welcome you with open arms, and we will stand side by side with you as we fight hate crimes within our community, because they are not tolerated. And Mr. Singh, as I understand, is in serious condition in the hospital. He has received some significant laceration to his head that required staples.
Very tenacious and aggressive prosecutors, who is our preeminent hate crimes prosecutor in our office, and she's accompanying me here today. And first of all, on behalf of the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of California, we want to express our sympathy to the victims, his family, his friends, his loved ones, and to you, the entire community. Our office, along with the FBI, is in the process of aggressively investigating this incident to determine whether or not, indeed, a federal hate crime has been committed. In fact, as of this afternoon, the Civil Rights Division at Maine Department of Justice has assigned a trial attorney to work with Ms. Landau on this case to help with that evaluation. Combating hate crimes is a top priority of the Justice Department, the Department of Justice through the Civil Rights Division, which prosecutes hate crimes, along with the experienced agents of the FBI, and our hardworking and experienced prosecutors in the Fresno office have long been active in the battle against hate crimes. And as the chief has said, hate crimes victimize not only the direct targets of the perpetrator's conduct, but the larger community as a whole. And the Department of Justice is committed to vigorously enforcing federal hate crime laws. Our office is committed to a full and thorough review of the facts of this case and stand with all of you and your community in expressing outrage over the act and sympathy for the victim and his family. And again, we are committed to vigorously evaluating this case, aggressively evaluating this case, and if the federal hate crime has been committed, we will vigorously prosecute. Thank you.
I'd like to thank each and every one of you guys, family that came here. It's an unfortunate incident, but sometimes it brings communities together. As you all have heard, Chief Dyer and his staff have reassured us that whether it's my mamadi or whether it's her relative, that they're going to take every action they can, and the FBI as well as the federal prosecutor. So, from our family, for your information, Mamaji is going to be okay. Sada Mamaji, 1996 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਆਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਉਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ, ਪਰ I'm surprised to learn he's 81 years old, but ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਸਕੂਲੋਂ ਆ ਕੇ ਲੈ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਬੜੀ ਫਰਕ ਹੈ। I used to love ਨਾਨਕਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਜਾਣਾ। But ਸਾਡੀ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ। Come here at this short notice. Again, to all the government officials, police department, FBI, as well as federal prosecutor, and the Indian Council General Office for coming here on short notice and giving our community the strength to know that we're all one, and that we need to work together on this and make sure that everybody's looked after and feels safe in the community. Thank you.
Issue, and I've talked a little bit about what we need to do at a national level in regards to policies and ensuring that the FBI tracks anti-Sikh hate crime, because right now they're not categorized. What can we do on a local level to prevent this type of event happening again? Is there any kind of awareness training that we can provide to the community to build bridges? The safety of our gurdwaras, because obviously this happened close to a gurdwara, which our community is concerned.
Well, unfortunately, sometimes it takes tragedy for us to come together and develop perhaps an educational awareness program for this entire community. And I am committed, as part of the Fresno Police Department, the City of Fresno, to make that happen and work closely with you. Whether that is us putting together educational videos, sharing those on YouTube, or sharing those with the media partners, whatever we can do, we should do. And I would like to have our folks work very, very closely with you to make that happen. Again, this is a senseless crime, a crime that's committed out of ignorance. And we want to do everything we can to educate our community so this does not happen again. And we also want to educate our community in terms of the severity of the penalty for when these things do happen. That's part of the education process.